नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंद गोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी जय माता दी। Welcome you all to Srimad Bhagavatam study. Let me just share my screen. So today is it coming on the how do I turn this on? Projector.
Function is 7. Function 7. F7 या 5 तो देखिए function is 5 या F7 एक साथ
Hare Krishna, we just try to set up the projector, but you can open on your phones. So SB 1.2.20. Yeah. Thank you, Guru. Okay. I hope everybody can see my screen on the Zoom also. Please repeat. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Evam prasanna manaso. Evam prasanna manaso. Bhagavat bhakti yogataha. Bhagavat bhakti yogataha. Bhagavat tattva vijnanam. Bhagavat tattva vijnanam. Mukta sangasya jayate. मुक्त संगस्य जायते word by word translation Srila Prabhupada ki please repeat evam thus prasann enlivened manasah of the mind Bhagavad Bhakti the devotional service of the Lord yogatah by contact of Bhagavat regarding the personality of Godhead tattva knowledge Vijnanam scientific mukta liberated sangasya of the association jayate becomes effective. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki please repeat thus established in the mode of unalloyed goodness the man whose mind has been enlivened by contact with devotional service to the Lord gains positive scientific knowledge of the personality of Godhead in the stage of liberation from all material association. So just to give you the context, Prabhuji and Mataji, we are last week we discussed first chapter of first canto. In that chapter, there were 6 questions asked by the sages of Naimisharanya. Please remember those 6 questions. Anyone remember what were those 6 questions? So the first question that they ask is, what is the ultimate good for the human beings in general? So they are asking Sutji, please tell us what is the ultimate and absolute good for the human beings now that Kali Yuga is coming. So that was the first. Then the second question they ask is about that there are so many scriptures, so many shastras, bhurini bhuri karmani, shrotavyani vibhagasha. There are so many activities prescribed, there are so many scriptures. Please tell us what is the essence of those scriptures. Yeah, yat saram samudhrata manishaya. By your intelligence, what is the sar, what is the essence of those scriptures? Please tell us that. So that was the second question that they asked. And the third question they asked about is about the appearance of Lord Shri Krishna. So they are asking Vasudevam, Devakyam Vasudevasya, Jato Yasya Chikirshaya. So they are telling Sut Goswami, oh Sut Goswami, you know, please tell us what is the purpose of Lord Krishna's and his activities. So these purposes. And the fourth question that they ask is about the Purusha Avatara. Purusha Avatara, like we have Mahavishnu, we have Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Shirodakshaya Vishnu. They are Purusha. From them, the various incarnations come. Yeah? So Purusha Avatara, that was the fourth question. And the fifth question was the Kala Avatara, the Leela Avatara. The Leela Avatara who appeared to perform the various Leelas. So Purusha Avatara and Leela Avatara. Like Brahmaji saying, Ramadi Murtishu Kalaniyamena Tishti. Krishnastu Bhagwan. So Krishna is Bhagwan. And we'll discuss in further chapters. So in this Bhagavatam, we talk about 24 incarnations. So they have been discussed. So we'll discuss about that. So this was the fifth question. And the last question was, now that Lord Krishna has gone back to his abode, after the disappearance of Shri Krishna, Dharma kam sharanam gata. The religion, under whose shelter the religion has gone. So 6 questions were asked. So please remember. So you know, in the first chapter. Now in today's chapter, in the second chapter, those first 3 questions have been answered by Sut Goswami ji. He answered these questions in this chapter but then in the future canto and the future chapters, there is elaboration of these answers. But just remember. So today's verse we're going to speak about, we will just relate it to this verse. So here Suta Goswami is saying is Evam Prasanna Mansu. When your mind is enlivened by the Bhagavad Bhakti Yoga, by performing the devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then what happens? Bhagavad Tattva Vijnana. Then you get Tattva. And we will elaborate on this Tattva. Tattva is often used, often discussed. People say, what is Tattva? I want to know the Tattva. Please tell me the definition of Tattva. But here, Bhagavad Tattva Vijnana. Vijnanam is very important. Vijnanam, there is one word called Gyan and there is another word called Vijnana. Gyan is theoretical knowledge and Vijnana is practical knowledge or realization. Remember that word. Yeah. Like Lord Krishna is telling Arjun in Bhagavad Gita 9.1. So Lord Krishna is telling him, Idam tu te guhyam pravakshyami anasuyave. Because you are non-envious, I am telling this top secret knowledge to you. Yes. And then he says, Gnan Vijnan Sahitam. I will give you theoretical knowledge. I will also give you the realization. Realization is very important. Vijnan. You know, when you study in college, you do scientific experiment. They tell you H2O is the water, but they actually take you in the lab where you mix hydrogen and oxygen. You mix them together. So that is called Vijnan. Gyan is theory you read. Vijnan is realization. Right? So here Suta Goswami is saying that when they have the Vijnan, when they have realization of the Bhagavad Tattva, Sangat, and then the material association, right? Mukta Sangasya. So you are liberated. So you are when we had the material association, now this material association is separated. Mukt, you are liberated from the material association. Then you get to know the Bhagavad Tattva, you have that realization. That's what he's saying, right? So now with the understanding, one Prabhuji and one Mataji recite the verse. Anyone who wants to say, please. Evam prasanna manaso Bhagavad Bhakti Yogata Bhagavad Tattva Vijnanam Mukta Sangasya Jayate. One Prabhuji wants to. Evam prasanna manaso Bhagavad Bhakti Yogata Bhagavad Tattva Vijnanam Mukta Sangasya Jayate. Okay. Now purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki, please hear. In the Bhagavad Gita 7.3, it is said that out of many thousands of ordinary men, one fortunate man endeavors for perfection in life. Mostly men are conducted by the modes of passion and ignorance, and thus they are engaged always in lust, desire, hankerings, ignorance, and sleep. Out of many such men like animals, there is actually a man who knows the responsibility of human life and thus tries to make life perfect by following the prescribed duties. And out of many thousands of such persons who have thus attained success in human life, one may know scientifically about the personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna. In the same Bhagavad Gita 18.55, it is also said that scientific knowledge of Shri Krishna is understood only by the process of devotional service, Bhakti Yoga. The very same thing is confirmed herein in the above words. No ordinary man or even one who has attained success in human life can know scientifically or perfectly the personality of Godhead. Perfection of human life is attained when one can understand that he is not the product of matter, but is in fact spirit. And as soon as one understands that he has nothing to do with matter, he at once seizes his material hankerings and becomes enlivened as a spiritual being. This attainment of success is possible when one is above the modes of passion and ignorance, or in other words, when one is actually a Brahmana by qualification. A Brahmana is the symbol of Sattvagun, or the mode of goodness, and others who are not in the mode of goodness are either Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudras, or less than the Shudras. The Brahmanical stage is the highest stage of human life because of its good qualities. So one cannot be a devotee unless one at least qualifies as a Brahmana. The devotee is already a Brahmana by action, but that is not the end of it. As referred to above, such a Brahmana has to become a Vaishnava. In fact, to be actually in the transcendental stage. A pure Vaishnava is a liberated soul and is transcendental even to the position of a Brahman. In the material stage, even a Brahmana is also a conditioned soul, because although in the Brahmanical stage, the conception of Brahman or transcendence is realized, scientific knowledge of the Supreme Lord is lacking. One has to surpass the Brahmanical stage and reach the Vasudev stage to understand the personality of Godhead Krishna. The science of the personality of Godhead is the subject matter for study by the postgraduate students in the spiritual life. Foolish men or men with a poor fund of knowledge do not understand the Supreme Lord, and they interpret Krishna according to their respective whims. The fact is, however, that one cannot understand the science of the personality of Godhead unless one is freed from the contamination of the material modes, even up to the stage of Brahman. When a qualified Brahmana factually becomes a Vaishnava in the enlivened state of liberation, he can know what is actually the personality of God. Bhaktivedanta purposely, let's do Mangalacharan to get the mercy of Guru Parampara. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padkamlam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Sha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Savadaitam Savadhutam Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarobhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Bhuter Mahadbhir Yayima Puro Vibho Nirmaya Shete यदमूष पुरुषा भुङ्क्ते गुणान् षोडश षोडशात्मकम् सोलङ्क सृष्ट भगवान् वचांसि मे श्रीकृष्ण शरणं शरणागतम् कथा अमृतं सतत पीबतम् भक्ति वेदांत मार्ग पंथनम् and Srimad Bhagavatam is all through the questions and answers. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he is instructing Sanatana Goswami, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells Sanatana Goswami that Prashnottare Bhagavate Kariyache Niradhar. Jnanara Shravane Log Lage Chamatkar. So Mahaprabhu is saying that Prashan and Uttar, question and answer, by asking questions and by giving answers, Bhagavat Kare Niradhar. Nirdhar as in it establishes the conclusion. So through the question and answers, right? Tana Yana Rashravane Lok Lage Chamatkar. And the people who hear this, people who partake in the discussion of these question and answers, for them it is so wonderful. It is very auspicious for them. So here Shaunaka Rishi, they asked 6 questions, and like I said, so we will today discuss the first 3 questions and their answers. So the first question that they ask is, they are telling Sud Goswamiji that please tell us, Yad Vinishchitam. So they are asking him, Bhavada Yad Vinishchitam, whatever you have concluded, please tell us. Pumsam Shreyas, for their ultimate good. Please tell us what is the conclusion for the human beings. So here now Sud Goswami starts answering in the 2nd chapter, and before he starts responding, he offers 3 prayers. So it's good to know what are those 3 prayers. In the first prayer, he is glorifying Shukdev Goswami. As if you all know, or if you don't know, when Shukdev Goswami was born, he was in the womb of his mother until he was 16. He did not come out of the womb. And then Vyasdev had to tell him that don't worry, my dear son, because he was worried as I come out, because there is so much material contamination. So he just wanted to stay safe with that mindset. And as Shukdev Goswami appeared, then he straightaway went to the forest. Initially he was inclined to the impersonal Brahman. So he went to the forest to perform the meditation. And he was going to the forest. Then Vyasdevji, he called out for his name. And Vyasdevji ran after him and said, my dear son, please come back, please come back. And as Vyasdevji was calling for his son, Shukdev Goswami did not respond, but he heard his own voice coming back. What is called reflection? Echo. He only heard his own echo of what he was saying. So now Sud Goswami is saying, as he heard that echo, so he's saying, I pay my obeisances to that Shukdev Goswami, who was so intelligent, who was so pure, that because of his purity, because he was walking past those trees, he even got those trees enlivened. Those jada tree, the trees are literally called jada because they have roots, right? So he's saying because of his purity, those trees started sending echo back. So it is the purity of Shukdev Goswami. So he's saying, who can even make the jada trees speak, talk, right? I pay my obeisances to that Shukdev Goswami who spoke Srimad Bhagavatam, right? And by hearing that Srimad Bhagavatam, people like us, Mudhas like us, the Jad people like us, in the purport Srila Prabhupada is saying, people even who are the lower than the animals. So we all fall into that categories, Even so, we pray that because we are reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam that was spoken by Shukdev Goswami, may we all be blessed by that Shukdev Goswami, or we pay our obeisances to Shukdev Goswami who could make those trees speak. So we also be able to understand that essence of Srimad Bhagavatam. So that is his first prayer. He's offering obeisances to Shukdev Goswami. And in the second shloka, then it is actually third shloka of second chapter, right? So he's saying then, I pay my obeisances to Srimad Bhagavatam. To Srimad Bhagavatam itself, which is spoken by Shukdev Goswami. In the first chapter, Vyasdev ji, in the third verse, he is also saying that Shuka Mukhad Amrita Drava Susanyatam Sanyutam. From the Shukdev Goswami, that Amrit, that nectar which flowed, Sanyutam, which is perfect, perfectly ripened. Pibata Bhagavatam Rasam Alya. Yeah. Aho. Yeah. Ahor Muhu. So he's saying, drink that nectar again and again, and that nectar, which is like a ripened fruit, which came from the mouth of Shukdev Goswami. Drink that. So in the second verse, he's paying obeisances, or second prayer. So this is also called Mangala Charan. So he's paying obeisances to Shukdev Goswami and Srimad Bhagavatam. Then in the third verse that we all recite before we study Srimad Bhagavatam. What is the first verse that we recite before we start? Even before that, Prabhuji, the very first verse that we start reciting. Even before that, the very first. Narayanam Namaskrit. Please repeat. Please repeat. Please repeat. Narayanam Namaskritya. Naram Chaiva Narottamam. Devim Saraswatim Vyasam. Tato Jayam Udiraye. So now we know why do we recite this verse. So this was the verse recited by Sut Goswami before he started answering the questions. So this is one of the three verses. We don't recite the first two verses, but we recite this verse. Yeah. So in this verse, let's also understand what is Sut Goswami is saying. So he is paying his obeisances to Narayanam Namaskritya. So he is paying obeisances to the Narayan. Narayana is Narayana Bhagavan, Lakshmi Narayana as you know. So the meaning of Narayan is, there are two meanings. One is Nar and Ayan. All the Nar, all the living entities, Ayan means shelter. All the living entities take whose shelter, he is called Narayan. So he is paying his obeisances to the Narayan. Narayana also means, Nar also means in Sanskrit, water. The one who is lying in the water. So I'm paying my obeisances to that Narayan. So Narayanam Namaskritya. And then Naram Chaiva Narottam. And then second, he is paying his obeisances to Nar Narayan Rishi. They are the incarnation of Satyu. And in Badrika Ashram, so Nar Narayan Rishi, they performed austerities, but they are actually incarnation of the Supreme Lord. So then he is paying obeisances to Nar and Narayan, who are Narottamam, who are the topmost, yeah, in the Nara. So he is paying obeisances to them also. And then Devim Saraswati, and then Mother Saraswati, who is the goddess of all the knowledge. Yeah? So then we pay obeisances to Mother Saraswati. And then fourth, he is paying Vyasam, Vyasdevji. Vyasdevji, who is literally incarnation of Supreme Lord Krishna and who has written Srimad Bhagavatam. So he's saying, then I'm paying obeisances to Vyasdev, Tato Jayam Udiriyet. And by studying this Bhagavatam, Jay, as in you can conquer all the ignorance. Yeah. You will be able to rise above these various modes, right? So that is the whole purpose. So we pay our obeisances to them, we take their blessing, and then you start discussing. So Sut Goswami, he offered these prayers, and then he starts speaking. Now, before he starts speaking, he congratulates. He tells all those rishis that the questions that you have asked, that is a very good question. So he tells them, Munaya Sadhu, yeah, Munaya Sadhu Pristo Aham. Oh Munis, the question that you have asked is, he is actually calling question Sadhu. Sadhu just does not mean a person who is wearing orange clothes. He is referring a question also, a Sadhu. Sadhu means which purifies. Yeah? So all the purity qualities. So he's saying that question itself, there's your Munaya Sadhu Pristo Aham. The question that you have asked me, and it is Bhavadbhir Lok Mangalam. This question is Lok Mangal. It will bring auspiciousness to the entire living, entire society, all the lokas. It will bring auspiciousness to them. Bhavadbhir Lok Mangalam. Why? Yat Krita Krishna Samprashna. Yeah. Yen Atma Suprasida. So he says, because you have asked this question, and because in responding to this question, I'll be able to discuss Krishna Katha. And Yen Atma Suprasidati. Because by discussing Krishna's pastime, the Atma, the self will be pleased, and also Paramatma will be pleased. Very important. Understand? Because when you are discussing Krishna's pastime, Krishna is also pleased, not just your own soul. Sometimes we say I'm performing devotional service for my upliftment to progress, but at the same time Krishna also gets pleased. So it's both Atma and Paramatma. Yen Atma Suprasidati. So he is congratulating them. Often when you go to in material situations, somebody asks a question and they say, oh, very good question. You often come across. So here Sud Goswami is telling them, you have asked a very good questions. And then he starts responding. So this is the answer to the first question. He says, yeah, Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmo. Yato Bhaktir Adhokshaje. Ahetuki Apratihrata. Yayatma Suprasidati. So here's the answer to the first question. The first question was, please remember the question. If you remember and understand the question, then you will understand the answer also. So what is the ultimate and absolute good for the human beings? And he's saying the ultimate and absolute good for the human beings is that Savai Pumsam Parodharma. Yeah. So then he starts describing about the Parodharma. Yeah. So let's understand what is the Parodharma. Yeah. We often speak about the Dharma. What is the Dharma? And we take Dharma as, what is that? Dharma, Arth, Kam, Moksha. Yeah. But here, this is the Parodharma, which is the supreme religion. Yeah. And he says that supreme religion is Ahetuki Apratihrata. Very important. Ahetuki means causeless, kamna-less, desireless, right? Where you don't have any desire, without any. It is like a mother looking after the children. Do they have any expectation? They just want to give everything to them. You often see when somebody is very sick, you see parents saying, oh my dear Lord, please take my life, but revive my son, revive my child, right? So that is called Ahetuki. So that sort of Ahetuki bhakti towards the Supreme Lord, that qualifies as Parodharma. That falls into that Parodharma category. And Apratihrata. Apratihrata means unpausable, without any break, continuous. Right? If your bhakti towards Supreme Lord is Hetuki, if you have any kamna, if you have any desire, then you are preparing yourself to become a Nastik. That is the conclusion. How you are preparing yourself to become a Nastik? Nastik means atheist, right? So this is how it works. Sometimes you have a desire and you go to Krishna or you go to any demigod and you ask for wish. You go and your wish is approved. And then you say, oh, very nice God. It's a very nice God. And we also tell each other. In India, you often see there are people who go to in the mountains, they go to Vaishno Devi. They say, I went last year and I made this wish and my wish was fulfilled. They go and they say, if this wish is fulfilled, I'm going to donate 1,000 rupees, $1,000. I'm going to do this, right? And they say, I'm going to come back next year. Then they go again to pay their obeisances. I asked for my wish, it got fulfilled, so I'm coming back. So first time your desire get fulfilled. Then second time you go again with another desire. If your desire doesn't get fulfilled, then you say, oh, something wrong. Maybe I should change. This time I should go to Badrinath or Kedarnath, right? This is when you are in the mood of Hetuki, Prabhuji Mataji, when you are going with some desire, right? Second time your desire doesn't get fulfilled. Then you go third time again with some desire. And this time your desire is again not fulfilled. Then what is your conclusion? Sab bekar hai. Everything is useless. There is no God. right? People often say, yes, Mother. People say, oh, if God is so caring, then why is this problem coming to me? So then there is a hetu, Prabhuji. You know? Similarly, the dharma, arth, kam, and moksha, these four things. We perform dharma to get some arth, isn't it? The religious activities are performed, that we perform this religious activity or occupation and we get something in return. Earth, right? And then when we get earth, we use earth as in, is earth also means end, earth also means you get some material gain. You get some material gain and then calm. You fulfill your desires. Opulence, you want to enjoy that, right? And when you get frustrated with the desires, then we say moksha. Then we start saying, by the time we are 50, you would hear so many people saying 50, 55, then they say, Bhagwan, ab to mujhko bula lo. My dear Lord, please now take me back. You know, because this world is not a place to live, because this is not a place to feel happy about, right? Then we change our mentality. So that dharma, arth, kam, moksha is not the real dharma. Right? That is just you can say a physical labor. Right? Now in the next three verses, Sud Goswamiji further clarifies what is the dharma. What is that parodharma? Please hear that. So then he is saying that swanutishthasya dharmasya vishwaksena kathasuya na utpadiyed yadi ratim shrama evahi kevala. Dharmasya hi aparagasya na artho arthaya upkalpate na arthasya dharma ekantasya kamo labhaya hi svrita. So what he's saying is that in the first verse, he says that the dharma, that if you are situated in your occupational duty, if you are in your grahastha ashram, sometimes we talk to each other and we say, Prabhu, what do I have to do? I'm performing my duties so nicely. We are in the grahastha ashram, we have to do our duty, right? We have that mindset. And with that mindset, if you are performing your duties, so here Sud Goswami is saying, by performing your duties, if you don't develop a desire, Vishwaksena katha suya na utpadiyed yadi rati. If you don't develop a taste, if you don't develop an attraction to hear the Krishna Katha, to hear the glories of the Supreme Lord, then he's saying that is just a labor. Shrama evi keva. So here, and mind you, it falls into the Varnashram Dharma, as you say. So here Sud Goswami is not saying that Varnashram Dharma is bad. Don't take it like that. He is not saying if you are performing your grahastha duties is bad. Don't take it like that. But what he's saying is performing your varnashram duty, performing your grahastha ashram without Krishna is not good. Right? Sometimes we get frustrated and we say life is useless, this is useless, family is useless. No. We should perform our duties very nicely. But if it is without Krishna, that's what Sud Goswami is saying is this is labor only. Yeah. And then he further clarifies. Yeah. Then he's saying that dharmasya hi apvargasya na artho arthaya upkalpate. So this dharma is also translated as, Prabhuji Mataji, occupational duties. If you are grahastha, you are performing your duties. If you are brahmachari, you have your duties. If you are in vanpras, you have certain duties. And then you also have your varna. If you are a shudra, you have certain duties. A brahmana, you have certain duties. Vaishnav, Vaishya, you have certain duties, which is business class. Yeah. So Brahman, Shudra, Vaishya, Kshatriya. So these are the four varnas, and then four ashram: brahmachari, grahastha, vanprastha, and sannyas. So all the permutation combination of these 4 and 4, you can decide which ashram you follow. So he's here. So here Sud Goswami is saying that the purpose of the dharma is apvargasya, is for the liberation. Na artho arthaya upkalpate. Performing religious activities for any material gain is not the purpose of dharma. Yeah. And then he says, na arthasya dharma ekantasya. If somebody is devoted, if somebody is performing dharma ekantasya, as in if you are fully devoted to perform the religious activities, right, as per the Shastras, then the earth, material gain should not be the aim. Na arthasya dharma ekantasya Kamo labhaya hi smrita. Smrita as in the sages. The sages have said this. They have concluded this, that this is not the purpose of performing your religious duties. And now that we are all involved in this Srimad Bhagavatam Yagna, if I can say. So it applies to us also. This is not the purpose. But at the same time, he says, Kamasya ne indriya priti labho jivet yavata. Jivasya tattva jignasa. So he says that the desires, now you have, by performing dharma, by performing your occupational duties, if you have some material gains, right? That should not be used to perform your sensual desires. That should not be used for sense gratification. Yeah, what it should be used for, he's saying, jivet yavata, for self-preservation. Yeah, for maintaining your body, whatever you need to do, you should do. Right? But don't try to put too many things. Don't add too many things into our routine. Yeah. Then what? Then they ask what should be the purpose. So he say the purpose of the jiva is to tattva jignasa. Jivasya tattva jignasa. Yeah. Na artho yascha iha karma. Yeah. We should not be, the end of our karmas should not be to have material gain. Rather, it should be tattva jignasa. Rishabdev, Bhagwan Rishabdev, when he's speaking to his sons, he's telling his sons that we should have a feeling of defeat. Please, you can read this verse, 5.5.5. Bhagwan Rishabdev is speaking to his sons. So he's saying to them, Parabhavas tavad abodha jato. Right? He says, Parabhava, you should have a sense of defeat. Abodha jato. You should have a sense of defeat, that by ignorance, due to ignorance, all these material miseries are coming to me. I'm so defeated. I'm a chinmay soul. I'm meant for higher purpose, and I'm entangled into this body. Parabhavasta vadabodha jato. Vadabodha jato. Yavat na jigya sat atma tattvam. Yavat na jigya sat atma tattvam. Yavat kriyasta vadidam manovai. Yavat kriyasta vadidam manovai. Karmatmakam yena sharira bandha. So he's telling his sons that you should have a sense of defeat. That why am I sharir bandha? That I'm entangled into this body, and because of the ignorance that I am not jigyasatam atma tattvam. I don't have a jigyasa. I don't have a inquiry to understand what is the tattva, what is the atma tattva. I'm into this body and I'm just thinking of the sense gratification. I'm thinking of karmatmakam. So as long as, even if you're performing any activities from the mind, if you are thinking, then you are called karmatmakam. So to that extent, Prabhuji Mataji, we should condemn ourselves. We should have that sense of urgency, the sense of inquiry. That is what I am doing. So that's what Sud Goswami is prescribing, Jivasya Tattva Jignasa. Now the next question comes, somebody asks, what is that Tattva? What is that Tattva? Very often people say he is Bhagwan, he is Paramatma, he is Brahma. Yeah. So here now Sud Goswami is telling them that Vadanti Tattva Vidas Tattvam Yad Jnanam Advayam Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagwan iti Shabda. So he's clarifying that tattva, the tattva vidas, who are knower of the truth, the great sages, yes, what they are saying, that tattva is advayam, which is non-dual, right? Which is above the duality. And they are, according to their conclusion, it is called Brahmati, it is also called Paramatmeti, and it is called Bhagwan. So he is not saying that, this is good or this is bad, but he is saying all three. Sometimes you see people who are hankering for Brahma Jyoti. Yeah? The Gyanis, they say Brahma Jyoti, right? So they call it Brahmeti. So that Tattva, in their understanding, it is Brahma. Yeah. And then Paramatma, Yogi say he is Paramatma. He's inside my heart. Yeah. That Paramatma. Like we often use the word that Paramatma, who is inside my heart. Paramatma. And the third is Bhagwan iti Shabdate. So let me give you an analogy. Srila Prabhupada explains this very nicely. So he says that same Supreme Lord, it is different perspectives. Yeah. If I show you this, for example, if I put this phone up, is somebody seeing the phone from here? From somebody seeing the phone from side, and somebody seeing the phone from here. But the right view of the phone is when I look at from the front, right? But it is still the phone. It is just the perspective. So Prabhupada says, take it, consider a glass of milk. Yeah. A glass of milk, if you're trying to understand or realize the glass of milk from the sense of eyes, you will say it is a white substance. It is a white liquid substance. That's how you will describe the milk, right? That is from the eyes. If you hear about the milk and you have understood, the property of the milk, then you will say, yeah, this is some white substance, and it is liquid, like that. From the ears, if you're trying to understand the milk from the ears. If you're trying to understand the milk from touch, then you will touch it and you will say, oh, it is cold, it is warm, it is liquid, and etc. etc. Yeah. Sometimes you want to realize the milk from the nose. You want to smell it, and you say, oh yeah, this milk is sweet, etc. etc. And then the fifth is you want to drink it. So Srila Prabhupada says the right way to realize or conclude that it is milk, or the perfect way, is to drink it and then say that it is milk. Right? Same milk, but different way of looking at it. So similarly, Sud Goswamiji is clarifying here that tattva, vadanti tattva vidas tattvam, yeah, that somebody call it Brahma Jyoti, some people call it Paramatma, and some people call it Bhagwan iti Shabdate. So these are the different ways. Now the next question is that how do we see that? How can we see that Lord? Yeah. And we often ask the question, right? Very often the question is, once somebody challenged Srila Prabhupada, can you show me the God? And then Prabhupada challenged him in return. What do you think? God is so cheap? You can just see him like that? But here Sud Goswami is clarifying that God is realized. God is not somebody, yeah, Vigrah is there, their lordship is there, you can see that. But that tattva, something, if somebody starts telling you theory, now I'm repeating here from Srimad Bhagavatam, but true realization will be from your own heart. And that's what today's verse is. Evam prasanna manaso bhagavad bhakti yogata bhagavad tattva vijnana. Remember, initially I said Gyan and Vigyan. Bhagavad Tattva Vijnanam Mukta Sangasya Jayati. And we'll go to that verse. But this is how he is saying. Now, before Sud Goswami spoke about Dharma, he also spoke another important verse. And there he is telling that Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Jannateshu Vairagyam Gnanam Chayat Ahetukam. Very important. So here he is talking about that if we perform devotional service to Bhagwan Vasudeva, right? Then what happens is it gives us the Gyan and Vairagya. Very important point. Often there is a conversation, people say, what comes first? Do I have to have the knowledge first? I want the Gyan first. I want to become a Vairagi first. Yeah, renounce everything, study all the scriptures, and then I will know the Lord. Then I will be able to the devotional service. But in the Bhakti Marg, Sud Goswami is saying is the first Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita. Prayojita is Prayojan, your endeavors, your actions. If you are performing devotional service to that Bhagavan Vasudeva, then what happens? It automatically generates the knowledge and the renunciation. Which
because they are the sons of Bhakti.
They are the sons of Bhakti, exactly. Yes. So they are the sons of bhakti. So it automatically generates that. And it is ahetuki. Gyan is ahetuki. So your then intention of the Gyan is not, I want to know the Brahma Jyoti and I want to merge into that. There is a hetu in there, right? But here the only purpose is to serve. How can I serve you, my dear Lord? So he gives you Gyan and he gives you renunciation also. Now, when he's saying about now, here he's saying he generates that. So after describing these various tattvas, now Sut Goswamiji tells them again that, oh my dear rishis, my dear munis. So he's saying that tat shraddhadhana munyo gyan vairagya yuktaya pashyanti atmani atmana. Yeah. So gyan vairagya yuktaya. Now the next stage is, if somebody asks you, I want to see the Lord, I want to see that tat. Now Sut Goswami is elaborating that. So he's saying, if you want to see that Lord, what do you do? Tat shraddhadhanaya. Yeah. Shraddha as in faith. If you have full faith, and then that faith is Gyan Vairagya Yuktaya. You got the Gyan and you got the renunciation also. How did you get Gyan and renunciation? By performing the devotional service to Bhagavan Vasudeva. Right? When you have got that, then he's saying Pashyanti Atmani Cha Atmanam. Then you can see that God yourself. Some people ask Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada used to challenge. Prabhupada said, okay, I have seen the God myself, but how does it help you? If you're asking me, have you seen the God? I have seen the God, but how does it help you? You should perform your devotional service so that you can also see the God. That is the mood. Yes. Pashyanti Atmani Cha Atmana. Yeah. You can see that yourself. And then another condition he says, Shrutva. Yeah. Shrutva. Shruti Bhaktaya. Shrut Bhakti Grihitaya. With the devotional service, if you have heard the scriptures, if you have heard the conclusion of the scriptures, then you will be able to see that Supreme Lord inside your heart. And now he comes back to the Varnashram. Then they say, what should we do? Remember, keep that question in mind. Then he says, Atah Pumbir Dvaja Srestha Varnashram Vibhagasha. Atah, he says, therefore, now his conclusion. Normally when we conclude a statement, so he says, Atah, therefore, Atah Pumbir Dvaja Srestha Varnashram Vibhagasha. Yeah. So these Varna and Ashrams, that division is done in the society. Right? Then Swa Anutishthasya Dharmasya Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. You remain situated in your Varna and Ashram. You don't have to renounce or leave anything. By staying in your ashram, you perform your activities only for one purpose. And what is that purpose? Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. For the pleasure of the Supreme Lord, if all of our actions are directed for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord, then it gives us all the siddhi, all the perfection. So it touches upon you understand the question, and the answer was ahetuki apratihrita. Right? So now we are touching, we have already discussed dharam, we have understood. Yeah, savai pumsam paro dharma, we have understood. Second was adhokshaja. Adhokshaja, meaning of adhokshaja is which is beyond our material senses. Something that we can't see from. Aksh literally means eyes, right? And adho means beyond. So beyond our material senses, something that is that. We can't see that. But Sut Goswami has also answered, if you want to see that Supreme Lord, Pashyanti Atmani Cha Atmanam. You perform devotional service. By performing devotional service, Gyan and Vairagya gets generated. And when you have Gyan and Vairagya, then you are at a state, if you have Shraddha, faith, then you'll be able to see the Lord yourself. Pashyanti. So now he concludes, Atah Pumbir Dvaja Srestha Varnashrama Vibhagasha. Staying in your occupational, whatever Varna and ashram you are situated. You don't have to leave anything. But as long as all your actions are for the pleasure of Supreme Lord, then you are perfect. Then they ask, what shall we do? Then he says, Tasmat eken manasa Bhagavan satvatam pati shrotavya kirti tavyasya dheya pujyasya nityada. So then the next step is, so are you are in your ashram? Are you with me? I hope I'm not. So this chapter is a lot of philosophical, sorry. We don't have a lot of fast time. So please bear with me. But the point that we're trying to get to today is what is the ultimate and absolute good for the human beings? how this devotional process works. It is very simply explained by Sud Goswami in this chapter, right? If you want to understand the Tattva, I mean, once again, that process is also discussed here, right? We don't need to perform any extra endeavor, but just following this process. So he says, Tasmat Eken Mansa. So therefore, this is that he's telling those Paramahansas, those Shaunakadi Rishi, but it is directed for us. Remember, after they asked the question in the first chapter, 10th verse, they also made a statement. Yeah, Prayena alp ayusha sabdhe kala usmin yuge jana. Yeah, mand sumand matyo mand bhagyo hi upadhita. They asked this question and then they are saying, so our acharyas are saying, before you start answering, they are telling Sud Goswamiji, please remember Kalyug has begun. In Kalyug, the peoples are less intelligence. They are very lazy. So when you are giving us an answer, keep that in mind. It is like when you take your child to the school and you tell the teacher, my dear teacher, please look after him. He's a bit naughty. He's unstable. He doesn't sit properly. So with that mood, that is why the rishis, they have already made that statement. Otherwise, between two questions, between first and second question, they have added this shloka. In the 9th shloka, they are asking the first question, and in the 10th shloka, they are saying this already. See, so that is for us. Prayena alp ayusha sabdhe. They are saying in Kalyug, people are short-lived, which is us. Mand sumand matyo. Their intelligence is limited. They are durbhagya, unfortunate, right? So keeping that in mind, give your answer. Don't give an answer which they can't follow. Right? So he has kept that in mind, and now he is responding. So he's saying Tasmat Eken Mansa. With single pointed attention, what they should do is knowing that Bhagavan Satvatam Pati. Now understand the word Satvatam. Sat means absolute truth. And Satvatam means people who are serving the absolute truth. And Satvatam Pati is who protects the Satvata, who protects those people who are serving absolute truth. So with one pointed attention, knowing very well that that Supreme Lord is the protector, Pati as in protector, right? Who is the protector of the Satvatas. Satvata who are serving absolute truth, right? What should we do? Shrotavya, we should hear. Kirtitavyascha, we should glorify that Supreme Lord. Shrotavya kirtitavyascha. Dheya, we should remember, we should, think about it all the time. It is said that the prem, the love and the enmity increases, both increases with chintan. If you love someone, you think more and more, and your attachment is increasing. And if somebody you are not friends with, if you think more about that, that enmity is increased. Yes. So by chintan only, by thinking only, both of these increase. So that's what Sud Goswami is saying is dheya, pujas, perform the archa vigrah and nityada all the time. So tasmad eken mansa, with single pointed attention, we should do that. And then he says, because they have already said that in Kali people are like that. Now Sud Goswami is saying that this yad anudhya sina yukta, right? So he's saying anudhya, by performing these activities again and again, you get equipped. Asin means a sword. Yad anudhya sina yukta. Yukta as in you get equipped, and asin as in sword. With that sword of knowledge, with that sword of performing the devotional service. Yeah. Karma granthi nibandhanam. Now karma is the reactionary work. Granthi as in knot. Nibandhanam as in internet. Understand? Internet knots of reactionary work. All the work that we are performing, it is binding, whether good or bad, right? It binds. If you are performing good activity, you are bound to reap the fruits of that activity, and you will have to come back to enjoy the result. If you're performing bad activity, then that is also binding, isn't it? So there are three categories of the karma: karma, vikarma, and akarma. Yeah. Karma is we are performing our actions as per scriptures. Vikarma is we are performing our actions against the scriptures. And akarma is you are performing your actions as per scriptures, but you are not attached. Yeah. So we do our actions with a karma mentality. Yeah. We just you've done your part. Yeah. So here, even if you get bound, so here the Sud Goswami is giving us a formula. Yeah. By chanting the holy name all the time, Yeah, Shrotavya Kirti Tavyasya Dheya Pujyascha Nityada. Just by name, glorifying, hearing, chanting. Yeah. Then what happens is with that sword, you can cut through the knots, yeah, internet knots of your reactionary work. Right? And then he says that all the intelligent people, yeah, they use this practice, but he says, Kon Kuryat Katharati. He's telling those rishis and onto us that why will somebody not follow that process if it is so simple? Yeah. Karma Granthi Nibandhana. So by this you do that. Now slowly he's taking us to the point of ahetuki and apratihita, right? How you can continuously perform that devotional service. Yeah. And then after saying this, then he says that if we are doing this activity, yeah, shushru shraddha dhanasya. Shushrusa is people who are performing. Shushru means endeavoring with full shraddha. Shushru shraddha dhanasya vasudev katha ruchi. Right now, the third point is we often say, Prabhuji, Mataji, I am here, but somehow I'm not developing the taste. We all go through that state, right? That mental state. I'm not able to develop that taste. So here Sudha Goswami is saying is Shushrushu Shraddha Dhanasya. If you are endeavoring, now you all have come here, so you have made an endeavor. People who are joined us online, it is their endeavor, right? With full faith, you are endeavoring. If you are endeavoring, then Vasudev Katha Ruchi. Then you develop the Ruchi, you develop the love and affection for the Katha of the Supreme Personality of God. You develop that, right? And when you develop that, then he goes on and then he further says that by continuously, now we recite another shloka. After Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottam. What is that another shloka that we recite? Anybody remember? Very nice. Thank you. That's another one. Right? So that verse that you recited, this happens during this process. So I just skipped that, but good, thanks for mentioning that in the interest of time. But yeah, so in that verse, you know, Shranvatam Swa Katha Krishna. So when you develop that taste, now what reaction happens? When this Shri Krishna, when he hears his own katha, his own story, right, who is residing in your heart, Shranvatam Swa Katha Krishna, Punya Shravan Kirtana. So hearing and chanting, they are both purifying, right? When you are engaged in that, then that Shri Krishna who is sitting inside your heart, Hriday Antastho hi abhadrani, all the bads, all the inauspicious things, vidhunoti, he cleans, he brooms them away. So that is the effect of hearing that katha, right? But then nast prayeshva bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati nesti. So this is the conclusion. So then by regularly participating in these kind of satsang, by regularly hearing the Krishna Katha, then what happens is Nast Prayeshva Bhadreshu. All that inauspiciousness gets destroyed. Yeah. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. And Bhagavati Uttama Shloke. That Supreme Lord who is glorified by the chance words. Uttam Shloka. By the best of vocabulary, by the best of shlokas. Who Supreme Lord that is. Then Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Then that bhakti, that devotional service automatically happens. Yeah. And then it comes to today's verse. By performing, actually after this there is another verse, actually that is also important. And then he says, Tada Rajas Tamo Bhava. Very important on this point. Tada Rajas Tamo Bhava Kam Lobha Dayas Chaye. So why it is important? Very often when we go and we say, Prabhuji, main chai pita hu, I drink tea, I drink coffee, I have this habit, right? But Sudha Goswami, if it was so important, before he said Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmo, he would have said the first verse itself, stop drinking tea, get rid of your Raja, Tama and all these Kam and Lobh, get rid of all of these qualities and then perform devotion service. No. So these things will automatically drop off. That's what he says. Yeah. Tada, therefore, right? Tada rajas tamo bhava. the mode of passion, the mode of ignorance, that all, everything, kam, lobha, dayaschaye, all the kam, all the lobe, all the desires, they automatically gets taken away. Right? And when they get taken away, then he says, sattvam sthite, right? Then you automatically get situated in the mode of goodness. So in this process, did you have to make any endeavor to drop your bad habits? Very simple. Sudha Goswami is saying, just hear Krishna Katha, right? He explained what is the purpose of dharma. You don't have to worry about the tattva also. Very often people come and ask, Prabhuji, tattva. Very often, people say, you people in the ISKCON, you're always chanting Mahamantra, Mahamantra. Are kabhi tattva ki baat bhi karo. Come, let's discuss the tattva also sometime. But no. I think you've heard that pastime of Madhusudan Saraswati. I've explained that before. Madhusudan Saraswati, he was in the Sripad Shankaracharya movement. Brahman, he used to meditate on Brahman, effulgence, and he was very good in the Shastra. He will hold debates and he will defeat people. He will say, come and do Shastrat with me. He will defeat them. And one day, Madhusudan Saraswati, he was in Vrindavan. After taking the darshan of Banke Bihari, he was coming out. As he was coming out, then one Prabhu stopped him. And he said, he paid his obeisances to Madhusudan Saraswati. And he said, please bless me. And Madhusudan Saraswati said, yeah, okay. Who are you? And then he said, I have heard about you. You are so brilliant. You know Shastra so much. And I hear you like to do Shastrarth. Yeah. And you defeat people. And then he asked a simple question to Madhusudan Saraswati. He said, please tell me one thing. You people believe, or you say everyone is Brahma. Brahma khalu idam sarvam. Yeah. Chandrogya Upanishad says that everything is Brahma. But just don't stick on that. Read what is before this, read what is after this also. The whole essence, right? Only then you can arrive at a meaning. So he said to Madhusudan Saraswati that I hear you are very good in Shastrat, but tell me, if you say everyone is Brahma, you are also Brahma, then how do you feel about you Brahma defeating another Brahma? And that touched Madhusudan Saraswati's heart. He came back to Banaras, Kashi, and he locked himself in the room for many days. He did not come out. And his disciples got worried that what happened to Guruji? Why he's not talking? And then they called him out. They said, please come, take class today. And please tell us what is Tattva. So that's how their conversation is. Very often they will sit and they will describe. So they ask him, describe us what is Tattva. And then Madhusudan Saraswati says, Venu Vibhushit Karat Navnir Dabhat Purnendu Sundar Mukhat Arvind Netrat Pitambarat Arun Bimba Phal Adhroshtat Krishnat Param Kimapi Tattvam Aham Naja. He is the Param Tattva, Krishna, who was believing in the Brahma Jyoti, right? Who used to debate. Suddenly he got struck with that. And then his conclusion is that Venu Vibhushit Karat, who is holding a flute in his hand. Yeah? Purnendu Sundar Mukhat, whose face is like a full moon, beautiful like a full moon. Navnir Dabhat, whose abha, as we say, his hue is bluish. You see that Radha Shyam Sundar at the back. So his hue is bluish, like a cloud full of water, who is just about to rain. Navnir Dabhat, who looks like that. And then he says Pitambarat, who is wearing the yellow garments. Yeah? And then Arvind Netrat, whose eyes like a lotus. Arun Bimba Phal Adhroshtat. Arun Bimba, Arun as in, when the sun is about to rise, you see that lalima, you see that, yellow. So he says Arun Bimba Phal, his lips are reddish like that. Adhroshtat. And then Krishnat Param Tattva Kimapi Aham Najami. Krishna ke alawa, above Krishna, except Krishna, there is no Tattva. I don't know anything. So Krishna is the only Tattva. Yeah. So this is the process, Prabhuji Mataji, that Sud Goswami has described here. Yeah. For us, for living entities, this is the best dharma, right? Vasudeve Bhagavati, the devotional service to that Supreme Lord. Right? Now we understand the dharma, we understand the process just by hearing and chanting. Nashta Prayeshva Bhadreshu. We recite this shloka every time we are having a Bhagavad class. At every satsang, we recite this verse. Yes. So now remember this verse. This is the purpose. Yes. By reciting this shloka, we are praying. This is what Sud Goswami said. We develop the ruchi for Hari Katha and we sit that. And when we do that, then automatically Kam, Lobh, everything, all the Rajo, Tamo Gun, automatically they disappear. So you don't have to make an endeavor for that. All the endeavor has to be hear Krishna Katha with full faith. That is a qualification. You have to have a full faith. Yeah. Shushrushu Shraddha Dhanasya. Shushrushu, you are endeavoring, right? And you have to have that feeling. Remember 555. Remember that once. That defeat, sense of defeat. Parabhavastavan abodha jata. Because of my ignorance, my dear Lord, I am stuck into this body. I'm a chinmay. I'm part and parcel of Krishna. Mamev anshu jeev loke jeev bhut sanatana. I am part and parcel of Krishna, and I'm stuck into this body, this human body, hankering for material, physical gains, hankering for these sense gratificatory things. If you condemn yourself like that, then you will have the mood to come and serve. Then you will develop the mood to hear Krishna. That is the process. Right? But if you are in the mood, oh, I am so well situated, I've paid off my house, I've got a nice car, I've got nice this, I've got that, then forget it. Then forget it. Okay. Yeah. Then you are set. You are set for next. That's what we have been doing for Life After Love. So that is the answer to the first question. We are running out of time. We have to conclude by 7:30. We got another 10 minutes. Then the second question was that what is the essence of all the scriptures? Yeah, remember that question? Bhurini bhuri karmani shrotavyani vibhagasha. Yeah. Atah sadho atra yat saram. Yeah. Yeah. Anudhritya. Yeah. Manisha, by your intelligence, please tell us the conclusion. And bruhi bhutana, by hearing that, yena atma suprasidati, which will be pleasing for the soul and pleasing for the super soul also. So to that, now Sud Goswamiji is answering. Very famous words you all must have heard of. Please repeat. Vasudeva Paraveda. Vasudeva Paraveda. Vasudeva Paramakha. Vasudeva Paramakha. Vasudeva Parayoga. Vasudeva Parayoga. Vasudeva Parakriya. Vasudeva Parakriya. Vasudeva Param Jnanam. Vasudeva Param Jnanam. Vasudeva Param Tapa. Vasudeva Param Tapa. Vasudeva Paro Dharmo. Vasudeva Paro Dharmo. Vasudeva Paragati. Vasudeva Paragati. So this is the essence of all the scriptures. So Sud Goswami is saying is Vasudeva Paraveda. Lord Shri Krishna is to be known, or the purpose of all the knowledge or all the Vedas, all the scripture is to know Vasudeva, is to know Krishna. Paraveda. Right? We can't discuss these shlokas in detail, but just get the answer. And the idea is after the class, you spend the week to read all these verses, and then you will have better understanding, because we're doing chapter by chapter sum. So Vasudev Paraveda, and then the Vasudev Paramakha. Makha means sacrifice or yagna. Yeah. So Lord Vasudev, Lord Shri Krishna is the object, is the purpose of all the sacrifice. If your sacrifice is for show off, if your sacrifice is for any material, sometimes we do things for show off also. We're doing big yagnas and we want to show off, like Daksh Prajapati. Daksh Prajapati, he did that yagna and he did not invite Lord Shiva. Then we all know what happened to that yagna. He did not invite Lord Shiva. Then Mother Sati went to the yagna ceremony, and then Goswamiji writes that when Mother Sati went there, she saw that there is no place for Lord Shiva. There is no offering for Lord Shiva in that yagna ceremony. And then she says, Jagat Atma. Yeah. Jagat Atma Sambhu, that Lord Shiva. Jagat Atma Mahesh Purari. Jagat Janak Sabke Hitakari. That Lord Shiva who favors everyone, who is merciful to everyone. Yeah. And he's saying, my dear father, my father, Pita mandamati nindat tehi, dach shukra sambhavya dehi. She said, my father who is mandamati, right? Whose intelligence is gone, right? No use. He is criticizing that Lord Shiva. And then she says that this body is has come from Daksha, Sukra as in sperm. Yeah? This body is from him, has come from him. So she felt so condemned that father, and it's sometime we will, I think we'll elaborate on this dhatu. This is called dhatu, but we'll talk about it later. But here she is condemning, and then she said that my father, he is criticizing that Lord Shiva. And then and there she just entered into the askahi jog agani tanujara bhayu sakal makhahakar. By saying this, by yoga agni, by her yoga, by the power of her yoga, she generated fire and burnt herself. And then bhayu sakal makhahakara, all the makha, all the yagna ceremony, it became ha ha. People were like lying here and there, and then if you have heard that pastime, people got killed, Daksh Prajapati's head got chopped off. So that yagna ceremony, if it was for Bhagavan Vasudev, then that won't happen. So remember, if we are performing any activity, if the hetu is something different, then that is going to be the outcome for our yagna. And that is why some of our endeavors fail again and again, Right? So we should remember that. If there is a failure, then we should remember, we should think that I might have done something wrong. Yeah, so that is the second answer. Vasudev Paramakha, then Vasudev Para Yoga, all the meditation, they should be performed for Bhagavan Vasudev. Vasudev Para Kriya, all the kriyas, all the karmas, they should be performed for Lord Krishna. Vasudev Param Jnanam, the knowledge is to know. Vedesya Sarver Ahameva Vedya. Bhagavan Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita 15.50. Yeah. The purpose of all the Vedas is to know me. Right? And then Vasudev Param Tapa. All the austerities are performed to glorify Lord Krishna. You're all doing Ekadashi Vrat. It is very pleasing to Lord Shri Krishna. Yes. There is no hetu, there is no material gain. And then the seventh line is Vasudev Paro Dharma. Yeah. So our supreme religion is to serve that supreme personality of God. And then last one is Vasudev Paragati. My ultimate aim or my ultimate goal is to realize that supreme Lord Vasudev. So this is the essence of all the scriptures, Prabhuji Mataji, as spoken by Sut Goswami. So there should not be any confusion. And in the very second verse of the first chapter, Sut Goswami ji, Vyasdev ji had already said that. Kimva parer Ishwarai. Yeah. What is the need for any other scriptures? Yeah. It's very clearly. So then we know the conclusion. So this is the answer to the second question. Then the third question was, why does Lord Krishna appear? Yeah. Deva kyam vasudevasya jato yasya chikirshaya. And then before they're saying janasi bhadram sutate Bhagavan Satvatam Pati. That Lord Sri Krishna, who is the protector of people who are serving that Sat, please tell us the purpose of his appearance. So in the last verse, verse number 34, 1 to 34, here Sut Goswami ji is telling them that Bhavyati Esh Satvena. Bhavyati Esh Satvena. Please repeat. Bhavyati Esh Satvena. Bhavyati Esh Satvena. Lokan Vailok Bhavana. Lokan Vailok Bhavana. Leela Avatar Anurato. Leela Avatar Anurato. Deva Nar Tiryag. Dev Nar Tiryag. Yeah. So I just missed the last word. But he says that now, as per verse number 20 or verse number 90, Sattve Sthitam. Remember that? So now you are situated in the mode of goodness. Right? So now Sud Goswami is saying that Lord appeared, Bhavyati Esha Satvena. Now the people who are situated in that mode of goodness, Bhavyati is as in claim them back, is to take care of those people who are situated in the mode of goodness. Then that Supreme Lord, Lokan Vailoka Bhavana, who is the master of all the universe, from whom all the universes come, that Supreme Lord. What does he do? Leela Avatar Anurato. He keeps taking the various avatars. He keeps taking various incarnations. Yeah, and those incarnations, Dev Tiryag Naradishu. Sorry, that was the last line. Dev Tiryag Naradishu. So he appears in the family of Devas. Lord Vamandev, he appeared as a younger brother of Indra. He appeared to do what? He appeared to protect Indra, and he appeared to bless Bali Maharaj. It was great fortune of Bali Maharaj. It was not that his things were taken away. He got the blessing. You know, when Lord Vaman Bhagwan put his foot on Bali Maharaj's head, then Prahlad Maharaj came there. And he was dancing. And he was dancing because Prahlad Maharaj is grandfather of Bali Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj was dancing. He said, our family, our dynasty is so fortunate that Supreme Lord only put his hand on my head, but he has put his foot on my grandson. So he started dancing. Prahlad Maharaj, he was so happy. So Dev, Tiryag, as in beast or bird, right? Bhagwan Narsimdev, he appeared. You know, Lord Varadev, he appeared as a beast when he killed Hiranyaksha. Yeah, and then Nar. Yeah? Bhagwan Krishna came, he performed the Leelas as Nar. So he keeps taking these, these appearances, and he takes that appearance to protect his devotees. It is said that when the Mahabharata Yuddha was decided, then Balram told Shri Krishna. Balram said to Krishna, Krishna, let's stay away from this. This is a fight between the family. We should not be here. I'm going on pilgrimage. You should also come in. But then Krishna told Balram, he said, no, I cannot leave Arjun in this situation. No? Even though I have taken a vow not to fight, but main Arjun ko nahi chhod sakta. I can't leave Arjun in this situation. I will stay with him. I won't fight, but I will stay with him. So this is what that Supreme Lord does. Esha Satvena, Bhavyati Esha Satvena. People who are mode of goodness, Prabhuji Mataji, the Supreme Lord comes. What to speak of people? Gajendra. Prahlad Maharaj, when he is glorifying the Supreme Lord, he is remembering that pastime. He says, Bhaktya Tutosh Bhagavan Gajayut Payo. He says that Gajendra, that leader of the elephants, that Gajendra, he glorified you. What bhakti did he perform? He got liberated. You know, when Gajendra he offered all the prayers and he could not see anyone. Then Bhagavatam says, then Lord Shri Krishna, when he left, he was coming on Garud. And halfway through, Bhagwan's Lord thought that Garud is not flying that fast. He got off the Garud and he ran himself. He came with his chakra. He cut the that grip of crocodile, and he's holding the foot of Gajendra. He's holding his foot, and he's massaging his foot. And Guru Maharaj says that Lord Krishna, Lord is telling Gajendra, Mere Bhakt, oh my devotee, please forgive me. I got a bit delayed to come and protect you. It must be hurting you because blood was coming out from his foot. That crocodile was holding on. But Krishna cut that grip of crocodile, held his foot, and then massaged him. And the moment Krishna touched him, Gajendra became in the Chaturbhuj form. He became one of the Parshad. He became one of the associates, one of the servants, Nitya Leela Pravishta of Lord Krishna. And then Lord Krishna took him back. And when Lord Krishna came down to take him away, then it is said all the demigods were watching. All the demigods were standing there. Lord Shiva, Indra, Brahma, they were all standing there because they did not realize. They thought it is just an elephant and a crocodile. And it is said that when Lord Krishna came, they were all standing there with head down, with a feeling of embarrassment, with a feeling of shame. That for my dear Lord, you had to come yourself to save him. Alas, we could not do anything. We were so powerful, we could have protected this. Lord Shiva, Brahma, Indra, all the demigods were there. and then they were, showering the flowers on the Supreme Lord, and he took Gajendra with him. So that is the purpose of the Supreme Lord Prabhuji Maharaj. Yeah, Bhavyati esha satvena, Bhavyati esha satvena, Loken Vailoka Bhavana, Loken Vailoka Bhavana, Leela Avatar Nurato, Leela Avatar Nurato, Devatiriyag Naradishu, Devatiriyag Naradishu. So we will now conclude today's session. So I hope you are all able to follow. Yeah. So there were 3 questions that got answered, right? And the response to those questions, I hope you remember. Then Sud Goswamiji explained that how to develop what is, he first spoke about the dharma. So we understand the definition of dharma. We understand how to develop that ahetuki bhakti, the causeless, desireless, kamnaless, how to have without any break, right? Unbreakable devotional service by constant hearing, by constantly participating, right? Constantly glorifying that Supreme Lord. We understand that, yeah? That Bhagwan Adhokshaj, we should not be going and challenging anyone. Please show me Krishna. Please show me where is your Krishna. So here Sud Goswamiji has already clarified that that Krishna will Pashyanti cha Atmana. You will see the Lord yourself. And not just you will see Vijnana Tattvam, Bhagavad Tattva Vijnanam. You will have full realization. So you realize the Lord, right? Don't challenge anyone. By constantly remembering, glorifying, chanting, associating, studying Srimad Bhagavatam, you will realize the God, right? So the first answer is that is the for the people in Kali Yuga. Then what is the essence of scripture? Lord Vasudeva. Everything is for Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Krishnarthe Akhil Chesta. All the endeavors are for Lord Krishna, is to satisfy Lord Krishna. And the third is, the reason Lord Krishna appear is to reclaim the people who are in the mode of goodness. And we also discussed how slowly you will automatically get into the mode of goodness. By hearing this process, just by hearing this process, you will automatically progress into the mode of goodness. So you don't need to make any extra endeavor. All these bad habits, they will drop like byproducts. So don't make any endeavor. Yeah? And Lord Krishna appears. So we pray that you all get the mercy of Parthasarthi Bhagwan. How Lord Krishna told Arjun that I can't leave Arjun alone in this. May that Parthasarthi Bhagwan, may that Lord Krishna stay with you all. May you all get his mercy. May you all get his blessing. So we'll stop here, Prabhuji Mataji. We are 7:35 now. We want to thank everyone who joined online. Yeah. And next weekend, we don't have this class because next weekend we will have Gita Jayanti celebration, our hall program. So we already apologize to you, but week after we will have, and then we will discuss 3rd chapter. So you all please go and study 2nd chapter. And as Srila Prabhupada says, please study scrutinizingly. Yeah. And please forgive me if I spoke something out of turn. I am also one of you. I'm just reading and I'm just speaking like a parrot. Right? I don't have any realization. I'm just repeating whatever I'm reading. Anybody can do that. But I really need your blessings and need your mercy. If I make any mistake, please forgive me. Yeah? So we'll stop here now. Yeah? Srimad Bhagavatam, Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki. His Grace Dinu Walan Das Guru ki. Srila Prabhupada ki. Jai.